What are some initial steps for buying your first tenant-based or vacation rental property in the next 12 months? Yeah, I think this is an exciting venture to look at. I think in our desire to help you think holistically here, I think before you take the leap, you want to consider this within your whole financial plan. How does this fit in? How much risk are you taking on? So let's just assume for now that you've taken those steps, really thought through it. This is a great financial decision. You can afford it, all these things. Then I think you want to look at both areas where this would make sense. Is there a property in an up and coming area where you've got some good upside on the value of the property increasing and you could rent it out and earn some income? Also, I think you want to think about it in the vein of, is this, if it's a vacation rental property, is there a spot that you like to go vacation? Because hopefully you're going to buy this and use it yourself and you're going to rent it out when you're not there. And how can you maximize your benefit, I guess, of having this? And then get creative on how this is done. Maybe you want to do it together with somebody else. Maybe you want to go in on it together and you want to both be a part of that. Maybe you've got to also think through, how are you going to upkeep the place? So are you going to outsource that? Are you going to do it yourself? Is it going to be right next door? Is it going to be in a different state? How are you going to pay for someone to clean it every time? These are just some different things. So I think you want to start higher level, thinking about area, thinking about how you want to use it. If it's just purely for income, maybe looking at the trade-off of having it nearby versus maybe having it somewhere else where the property value could grow. And then with vacation, is it in a spot where you want to travel and a spot where a lot of people want to travel? You need to do a little bit of market research to figure out how that all looks. And then thinking hard about the size. And what I'd encourage you to do is learn from some experts that are doing this. Go out there. YouTube has a ton of videos. We've got the Life Money podcast. We've actually done a whole episode on Airbnb, some from people that are actually doing it, things that they've learned. The size of the place really does matter. Some people think, oh, I want to get like a 10-bedroom place and rent it out for $10,000 a weekend. But there is a sweet spot that people who have been doing this have found. Consult experts, talk to family, friends, other experts that you know who have done this, because it can sound really exciting, but there are some real realities with doing this that you've got to consider. And that's where I think someone that's actually been doing it for a while can provide so much value and help you not take too big of a leap.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Bjorn. And the three things that come to mind for me on this question is location for sure. We're talking about real estate, location, because you want to make sure that property, if in fact you need it to be rented when you're not there to help cover the cost, you want to be in a situation where you're in an area of the country where you're going to get rentals on a continuous basis. Secondly, you want to understand what kind of property are you renting. Are you renting a condominium that is part of a management company, where you have a management company that will actually help you to rent your unit and take some of that burden off of you? And also talk to your CPA, because from a tax perspective, you want to make sure that you're buying the kind of property that's most beneficial from a tax perspective. And then lastly, really understanding, do you want to be a landlord? Sometimes, as Bjorn mentioned, it can sound sexy and it's really exciting, but when it gets down to the nuts and bolts of it, you are a landlord, it is your property, and you do have people that are renting it. So sometimes it can be difficult to be a landlord and very time consuming and demanding, but all good things, all good points.